All right. So for our first one here, we've got dinitrogen trioxide, which is a molecular compound. So we go by the prefixes to figure out the numbers. Okay. It tells us we have 2 nitrogens and 3 oxygens, N2O3 for 1 mark. Number 2, calcium chloride. Calcium chloride is an ionic compound because calcium is a metal. So we write it the symbol, and then the charge. Okay, chlorine symbol and its charge, and then we drop and swap. Okay, so our final formula should be CaCl2. We don't write ones. If they have ones written down, it's wrong. Okay. Third one, copper 2 nitride. So this is also an ionic compound, and the Roman numeral tells me which charge to use for copper because it could be 1 or 2. Okay, so this is the copper with the 2+ charge, and it is with nitride, which has a -3 charge. Then I drop and swap. Cu3 N2 is my final formula for that one for 1 mark. Number 4, magnesium sulfate, also an ionic compound. Magnesium is Mg, and it has a charge of 2+. Sulfate is a polyatomic ion whose formula is SO4, and it has a -2 charge. What do +2 and -2 do to each other? They cancel each other out. No other numbers are required. That is your formula. Any questions on the first 4? Okay. Last 4. So for these ones here, we're writing out the names. Number 5, I've got sulfur with bromine. This is a molecular compound, so I'm going to need prefixes. This will be sulfur tribromide. Okay, for 1 mark. Number 6 is an ionic compound because lithium is a metal, so no prefixes are required for that. This is lithium oxide. Number 7, I've got iron and nitrogen. This is an ionic compound, and iron has more than one possible charge. So this is going to be iron something nitride. I just have to figure out which Roman numeral it will be. Nitrogen is always a -3. That's a 3. Okay, so that means this iron has to be +3. So this is iron Roman numeral 3 nitride. Okay, and last one, we've got sodium with nitrate. So again, an ionic compound when no prefixes are required. Sodium nitrate. Give them a mark out of 8. Let them see it, and then I would like them in a neat pile right here. So we are going to be heading across the hall to the lab here right away. Okay, when we get over there, the first thing you need to do is get safety goggles. If you want to have a lab apron, that's fine. They're hanging on the wall. When you first come in the door, just look to the right. The aprons are on the wall. Listening, please. The safety goggles are in the drawers of each station. They should be in the top drawer. Okay, now there's 30 sets of like reasonably styled, comfortable ones. And then I have others that are not so much that way, but actually work better in protecting your eyes. Okay, so make sure that you get a set of safety goggles. If you don't, come and see me and I will give you a set of safety goggles. I think I probably have enough of the semi-stylish ones to go around. So just make sure that you come and see me. Where do the safety goggles need to be at all times? Yes, they are not a forehead protector. They are not a throat protector. Okay, they go over your eyes. You get 1 warning from me on that. If I have to tell you more than 1 time to have the goggles over your eyes, you'll be asked to leave the lab. Okay, I don't mess around with safety in the lab. Okay, I've already had 1 kid who got acid in his eyes, and that wasn't fun for either of us, so I'm not doing that again. Okay, we are going to have goggles on all the time. Guys, that includes, and this is when accidents happen, when you're done. And you're like, oh, sweet, I'm done. The goggles have to go in the drawer, and there's this group right next to you that's still working. Okay, the goggles stay on until everybody's done, and I say, okay, we're going to come back across the hall to the classroom. That's when the goggles can come off, but they stay on until that time. Is everybody clear on that? Okay, where does all the waste go? In the waste bucket. Where can you find all the materials? Okay, so here's how this is going to work. The unknown compounds will be on the main, like the teacher lab table. On a cart beside the teacher lab table will be all the other equipment, the depression plates, the thermometers, okay, all of that kind of stuff, the conductivity tester and pH paper. That'll be on a little silver cart next to it. How many members of your group should come up front to get that? Yeah, just one, because if you all come up, it's just chaos up front. Send one group member to come up and get your stuff. When you get the depression plate, this is something we didn't talk about the other day. When you get the depression plate, there will also be permanent markers on the front table. Grab a permanent marker and label the depressions A through K, all right, so that you know which one goes in each depression and you don't get them mixed up later. All right, that way when you go back to your desk, it'll stay on even if you get it wet because it's permanent. Okay, at the end of the lab, we'll be able to get them off. We just use a little bit of alcohol to come right off. Okay, but for the lab, it'll stay on, except for the one that's alcohol. Incidentally, if you spill that one, it'll make the permanent marker come off. There's another physical property, okay, of your alcohol. Okay, but you probably won't notice that at the time. Okay, any questions on what we're doing? Now, also, I will be posting a video probably during this class that I made of me doing the lab, okay, with larger samples than you guys have. So if there's any question, if you're looking at your stuff and like, I don't know if this is right, or you just want to double check your data later before you put the report together, okay, or if you're absent, okay, you can look over that video. It'll be attached to the assignment, same as the other ones. Okay, it'll just say like observations video or something like that. I haven't decided what I'm going to title it yet, but okay, it's me using much larger sample sizes to do the lab and getting the same observations, hopefully, that you would get today. All right, so you can look at that if you feel like I'm not sure about this one or that one. Okay, all right. Okay, guys, so just as an added thing here, right, I've added now to the Properties of Compounds lab, okay, this video here, which is me doing the lab. Actually, you don't really see me ever. It's just a close-up of the samples and the tests on each sample in a much bigger container. All right, so not in the little depression plate that you use, but in a watch glass about this big. All right, so if you're questioning any of your observations or you just want to confirm them or you weren't here, okay, then you need to probably have a look at that video. You can kind of scrub through it to whichever ones you need to see. Okay, it does go in alphabetical order, so it starts with A and finishes with K. Right, if you're looking to kind of just check out a couple of them, right, because it is 25 minutes long. I made sure I waited for things to dissolve and stuff like that so that you would see it kind of all happen, right? But it's there now, so if you need to use it, you can.